Read slowly. Imagine the Aegean breeze. Imagine marble streets. Imagine the smell of olive oil and smoke. Close your eyes for a moment. It is 450 BC. The sun has barely risen over the hills of Athens. A farmer named Demetrios is already walking barefoot across rocky soil, heading to his fields. His feet are cracked, bleeding a little. His back aches from yesterday. His teeth throb from a cavity that has been there for 3 months. He does not stop. He does not complain, because in ancient Greece, pain was not the enemy. Pain was just life. Let's start with something you and I take for granted every single day: healthy teeth. In ancient Greece, dental pain was so widespread, so constant, that archaeologists excavating ancient Greek skeletons found something shocking. Teeth that were completely decayed or lost. Jaws that showed signs of chronic, raging infection. Holes where molars once lived. One archaeologist who studied these skeletons told National Geographic, and I'm paraphrasing here, people were walking around with raging toothaches. We've seen many teeth completely decayed or lost. There were no dentists, not like we know them, no numbing injections, no drills with anesthesia. If you were lucky, you visited a priest at the temple of Asclepius, the god of medicine, who gave you a herbal sleeping potion. If it worked, the gods were pleased. You were expected to leave a stone carved in the shape of a tooth as a tribute. If it didn't work, you just lived with it. Hippocrates, the father of medicine himself, believed that toothaches were caused by mucus sticking under the roots of the teeth. His solution? Warming herbs, herbal rinses, and endurance. Endurance. That word will come up again and again in this story. Ancient Greek doctors used vinegar to soften decayed teeth before attempting to pull them out, with pliers that they invented themselves. No painkiller, no anesthesia, just a leather strap to bite on. The toothache was normal. The pain was normal. You ate around it. You slept through it as best you could, and you kept going. Now let's go south. Let's leave Athens and travel to Sparta, a city-state so obsessed with hardness, with endurance, with the embrace of pain, that it shaped an entire civilization. When a Spartan baby was born, soldiers came to examine it. If the child looked weak or unhealthy, it was taken away, left to die on a hillside or raised as a slave. If it survived, the real story began. At age 7 years old, every Spartan boy was taken from his mother, removed from his family, placed in military barracks called the agoge, and here pain became a curriculum. They were given no shoes, even in winter, even on rocky mountain paths. They were given thin clothing, designed not for warmth, but to train their bodies to resist cold. They slept on beds of hard reeds with no blankets, no cushion, no comfort. They were given not enough food, deliberately, on purpose, because hunger, the Spartans believed, sharpened the mind. It built cunning. The boys were expected to steal food to survive, and if they got caught, they were beaten, not for stealing, for getting caught. And every year, there was a ritual at the altar of Artemis Orthia, a whipping ceremony where Spartan boys were flogged before crowds of spectators. The boys who endured the most lashes without crying out, they were celebrated as heroes. The pain was not punishment. The pain was the point. Spartan girls were not exempt from this philosophy. They trained in wrestling, gymnastics, and combat because strong women produced strong soldiers. At age 18, every girl had to pass a fitness test. Fail it, and you lost your citizenship rights. Pain in Sparta wasn't something to avoid. It was something to earn your place in society by surviving. Back to Demetrios, our farmer. The majority of people in ancient Greece, over 80%, were farmers. They worked from sunrise to sundown with only the simplest tools, wooden plows, iron blades, their own hands. The soil near the coastline was poor, rocky, unforgiving. Back pain? Chronic. Every farmer bent over fields for decades. Knee pain? Constant. Walking miles daily on uneven terrain with no supportive footwear. Cuts, splinters, infections from field work? Regular. And without antibiotics, a simple infected wound could kill you in weeks. If you were a slave, and a significant portion of Greek society were enslaved people, you worked in silver mines like the mines at Laurion, deep underground in tunnels barely wide enough to crawl through, breathing rock dust, swinging hammers in darkness. The average lifespan of a mine slave was brutally short. The physical suffering of daily labor wasn't discussed. It wasn't documented in philosophy scrolls. It simply was. Hippocrates wrote guidelines for everyday life in his regimen, suggesting diet, exercise, balance. But his audience was the wealthy. The farmer didn't read Hippocrates. The farmer just worked until the body gave out.